Hello everybody and welcome back. So we are doing this really cool text animation stuff. So I'm going to show you the finished result, what we're doing. And we are doing this one here. So when we animate it, we can kind of control it like this. Isn't it cool? Or we just let a shader do it for us. So that's what we are doing. And I'm just going to go back to the scene we are. So it looks like this in our scene and we are here. So what we made so far, we just made one line animating like this, but now we're going to add, so we add yet another line for each line. So we kind of go through the page, right? So we have the red line, red channel here, and that's animating one line. So now the green part's going to take care of the height, so we can animate through the page. So we're going to use 1 minus here. And you don't really, well, I figured out a little bit later that we need it, but I'm just going to put it now. So, sorry for confusing you guys. I'm just going to put it here and add it later so you understand why we need it. So the first thing is, now it goes from 0 to 1, right? And in this example, you see that we have 1, 2, 3, 4, blah, 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 10 lines. And therefore, we need to have this animation from convert 0 to 1 to 0 to 10. So what we do here, we do multiply, and here now we add a float and it's going to be lines. So we're going to use lines and lines. We're going to make sure that the lines are 10. So we change it to integer here. So that's nice. Now we see it goes from 0 to 10. So the same thing we did up here, we did a ceiling. We're going to make it down here too. So we make a ceiling. So now we have the values be always full integers. So 0, 1, 2, 3, and so forth. So that means you see here, here's a gradient 0 to 1, but here it's 1. So we're going to use that to our advantage. And the way we animate this stuff is that we also make a subtraction here. So if we do subtract, and if we do it, so here you see we subtract 1, so now we have 1 line, and here we do 2 and 3 and so forth. So we use this here, and here you see that we use the time and modulo, and we take it up to 1 line. So here it takes, time per line is 3 seconds. So each line takes 3 seconds. And what we need to do is that here we modulo it 1. And here we modulo it with the lines. So now it needs to go from 1 to up to 10 before this one is completed. And then we just subtract this one here. So now it will take 10 seconds, go from 0 to 10. And so what's happened here, now the value is 5, so and now it's 6, so now the value here is about to become 9. So here remove 9. And then it restarts. So everything that's under 0, yeah, goes to, well, it gets ceiling upward to the whole numbers. So this is really nice. Sorry. But now you can see what's happening here. It's going in the wrong direction because we need a mask to be white and start. It shouldn't go backwards because the white represents what's visible, and now it's kind of removing line by line. So that's the reason we have this 1 minus back here. So before, because here we have it 0 to 1, and with this one we just change it to be 0 to 1. And now when we multiply it, it's 0 to 10. And now when we subtract and do this stuff, we kind of get it as we want. So that's perfect. So if we do like this, if we add, and we actually add these one two together, then add this. Now we see we have it like this. So it is kind of working, right? But and we can actually just plug it in here. So now we see it is animating, but we can also see it's a little bit lines and stuff isn't really correct. So there's two problems here. Here we do the ceiling and it works really great. It takes away these chunks here, right? But here we want this one to be 0 up to here. Well, actually 1 and then 2. So we don't want 0 and a gradient like this. We want it to be 1 all the time here. And you know what that is? That is ceiling. We love this node today. So we just plug it in here. Now you can see what's happening. So it's removed step by step, but we actually do the ceiling here again to kind of make it just a hard cut. So now when we add it like this, we have this really nice function. And you also see here that the lines here, they are white and here they are black. So the thing is that the values here is -3 and +6 or something. So if we just do a saturate node, we take care of it. So now it's always between 0 and 1. So now you see it works. So this is how it works. Really good, right? So yeah, I think I covered everything here. And we can change it to quad. So this is nice. And of course you can do more fancy stuff with this stuff here. Do maybe normals and stuff. Actually, let's see, what could we do? Let's see if we do normal from height. Yeah, I don't know if this is gonna really add any good value for us actually. It depends on if it's a hard cut or a little bit faded, but I guess you could tinker around with it, and then you have it like this, and then you have some kind of normal, if you would like to, I don't know, if you have a blood or something, you might want that. I'm gonna remove it because it's gonna be good enough, and I'm gonna save it, and now we're gonna go out and see how it works in the editor. So here you see it works. We need to rotate it like this. So this is good. And here you see times per line. So it's like if we do 1 second, it's 1 seconds per line. 1. Yeah, cool. And then we have the text color and lines. So maybe we just want 2 lines. Here we have 2 lines. Okay. I see it doesn't really work. Because I forgot one thing, and what is that if you look here, and when it starts up here, there's a little bit gap before it's happened something, and that's because we need to subtract, and it's this part here. So we need to, because let's see what's happening down here. It will go down, and then here it's let's say 7 maybe. Here it's 8, 8, 8, 8. 9, 9, 9, 9, 9, and then 10, 10, 10, 10, 10, and then here it's 1, 1, 1, 1, 1. What we need to do, we need to subtract only 1, because it needs to be offsetted 1. So if we check out here, and now when it starts from the beginning, you will see it will start as expected. When this one reach the end, it will start right away. All right, perfect. So if we check out the scene again, now we see it works as intended. So if we do 10 lines, now it works. Perfect. So let's just add the background here, and we add the text here, and now it works. So this is how you do it. So let's add a script, and then we are kind of done with this. So we have the letter here, and I'm just going to add here. So we need to add our material here to the script material. And then in the animation curve, we're going to do this as a default. So this is 0 to 1. So this is linear and nothing fancy happening here. And I'm going to show how that works out. So if we play now, and if we do, oh, I missed something. Damn it. So here we need to add the other stuff that I missed. So what we want to do, we need, okay, this one is going to be the shader that's doing everything for us. But here we need a float, and this is going to be progress. This is going to be a progress that we're going to have, and it's going to be between 0 and 1. So 0 and 1, perfect. And we're going to have this one multiply with the lines like this. So now we have when it's 0, it's 0, and when it's 1, it's 10, because it's 10 lines. And then we're going to do modulo. Modulo like this, and it's going to be in the A. So now, when we made this one to 5, it will, if it return, okay, so when it's 5.1, then it's above a whole number. So then it's going to be 0.1. So that's going to be why it works in the lines. So if we plug this one in here and we do the progress, you will see it's kind of always works. So if we do 0.51, or yeah, you see it will work. So that's good. So that's how that thing works. And then we just plug this one in here. So now when we drag the progress bar, we can see this one bugged out. So that's, yeah, it's okay. It seems to work. So now you see it works. So now we can control it with within a script. So that's perfect. So this part or this part. So we could actually do, I'm going to show you. You can use a Boolean. So if you use do use progress. So we have this one here, and then we do a branch. So let's say if we want this one to decide what we're going to use. Let's see here. Can we? No, we can't. Okay. So let's say if we want to use progress. If this use progress is 1, then we're going to have the true value. So that way we're going to have this one here. But if we're not using progress, we want the shader to work. So that's mean we're going to have this to the false state. So this one is for the top line. So we do it here. Bam. And also we need for the lower ones. So if we just remove this one here. So let's say if we are going to use the progress bar down here, well, then we need this one for be the true state and this one to be the false state. And then we just plug like this. So a little bit mini messy maybe, but I hope you figure it out. So if we save this one now, and we check out the game and play. So now we see if we do use progress, we can use it. Perfect. So that's nice. And time per line and stuff. So this is how it works. And if we now press trigger animation, you see it works. So you see the progress is animated here. And the way the script works is like this. So we have the speed and the material and the animation curve and elapsed time. That's the kind of the total time. And this is the trigger. So when I trigger this one here, what happened is if I trigger this bool here, then it starts this coroutine and then it set it to false directly. So this is the function that do it. So elapsed time is 0. And while it is less than 5, the speed, it do this stuff here. And it here we have the animation curve. So it's kind of read, so this here clamps because we divide by the same value here. We get it to normalize between 0 and 1. And here in the animation curve, so let's say if we just do some wanky stuff here, and we do this one here, well, we can do this one. So now we just do some different speed on the curve. Yeah, so that's if you want to add it or not, I don't know. And then it's just while this is going on, you know, eventually it will finish. And here in the material, we set the flow to progress. And that's this is a value between 0 and 1 that we get from the animation curve, right? So progress here, you need to make sure that you spell it correctly. So you see here, progress, and reference here. This needs to be the value that, the name that you reference in the code. And yeah, and then here it just set it to 1 when it's done. So friends, I really hope you like this stuff, and I think it's really useful. I haven't really used it yet, but if I use it, I'm gonna make a little bit more pro stuff to it, I guess. But you know, I find it really useful. So thank you so much for watching, and I really hope you find it useful, and see you in another tutorial. And of course, if you want to dive into these files, you can find it on my Patreon site, and support me there. So thank you so much and have a nice day.